Hello there, Salim Omar here, from the Straight Talk about Small Business Success podcast. I've got a special guest with us. His name is Bill Heinrich. Bill, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Great to have you, Bill. I'm really looking forward to this. I looked at kind of the questions we've got together, things that I want to really kind of dive in. Before we do that, if you can quickly share with us your backstory.
Wow. It's difficult to do it quickly. Over 50 years, I owned my first business when I was 25 years old. And almost 30 years ago now, I walked away from my life because I was so miserable. And I had to find the reason why. And that journey has taken me here this morning to be with you.
Awesome. So, what you believe in, what you teach, what you share is passion, purpose, prosperity. Why is living with passion, purpose, and prosperity important to achieve business success?
Well, the thing that I found in all the research, because I walked away from my life because I was so miserable, I had to find out why. And it all comes down to one word, and that word is energy. It's what your energy is. Because what happens in your physical world in front of you is a result of your energy. You put energy into complete something, but you also have energy into thought, you have energy. And we have stories and beliefs inside of us. We're here to learn life lessons. So we have blind spots. We have areas where we go in and we have interruptions, disruptions, struggle, frustration. And this is really the journey of everyone in life, but especially in business.
And so, talk to us
now.
Let
me give you an example of. Let me give you sure. an example of that. Okay, you're a CPA, right?
Correct.
You deal with emotions all the time when people come to you. Are they going to be able to pay their taxes? How much do they owe? Have they done this right? Are there penalties? All of those things. That's the type of thing I'm speaking of.
So the person that we serve, whatever industry anyone is, that customer, patient, client has a certain type of energy, certain type of emotions. And how does that translate to the provider, the service provider?
You ultimately, when we talk about purpose and fulfillment, ultimately, you have a passion because you want to fulfill a solution to some challenge that some person has. Right? And for you, wisdom in accounting is good, but there's computers and a lot of information there. It's really a relationship business. Numbers are numbers, right? So you put the numbers in the computer, they print out and say, here are the numbers, but it's how it's handled emotionally and how you make your clients feel safe, your knowledge and wisdom, where they go, okay, I'm in good hands here because I have no idea what's going on this side of the desk. All the knowledge is over here. You're taking care of it. You get that?
Yeah. So it's how we show up as a provider.
Energetically, how we show up.
Right.
And if they're nervous and scared and you're nervous and scared, and I know that you've been in some meetings like that at some point in your career, you would have had to. This is not a good formula for a positive outcome.
Right. So the customer has a certain energy. You as a service provider, you've got to manage that energy, and that managing that energy is going to come from how we show up, the energy in which we show up
Yes.
as a provider. And that is, and it's beyond the technical data, the
That has
technical
nothing to
skill,
do with it. That has
right?
nothing to do with it. Yeah. Now, I'll take you a little deeper into metaphysics. First of all, it's proven scientifically everything in the universe is a vibration. That's a scientific fact. We have energies that flow through us. We have 7 different energies that flow through us. And I've worked with hundreds of clients showing them this. You literally have an energetic DNA, so to speak. We have 7 different energies, and these energies give you power or create penalties when you're not familiar with the energy. Okay. So, like, one of them is defined as divine order. And someone that has this energy would hate conflict. And the reason they hate conflict is because it physically is disturbing to them. In their life, they look at it intellectually, but the truth of the matter is it's energetically affecting them. And when they understand what it is, they can use this energy to solve any problem, any situation, when they understand the energy. So that may seem a little bit out there, but the truth of the matter is I have worked with hundreds of clients. And when you understand life energetically, everything changes because you can infuse, you create your life, you write your story. We're writing our story this moment by showing up and sharing good information, by giving. But when most people live by the stories inside them from the past that still control them emotionally, and we all have those stories.
Definitely do. What are 3 important keys to living your life with to living your life purpose?
The number, there's a lot of different ways I could explain this, but let me say this first. There are only 2 emotions that we have in life, and that's it. They either come from love or they come from fear. Everything stems from those 2. Love can only come from where?
Don't know.
Your heart. You feel the love. You look at a picture or you see your daughter, your young child, your wife, your spouse, your partner, and you feel the love, right? And fear can only come from your head. Fear can only be in the physical. Now, here's a funny thing. Fear and love cannot coexist. They can't
Interesting.
coexist. Fear knocked on the door and love answered, but no one was there. So when we look, because people, when you meet with people, you're typically seeing people who are coming from a fear-based place, based on their energy, their questions, their thought process, the experiences of their past, right? And you look at it, so, well, the numbers are the numbers, and you work with the tax law and you get everything resolved for them. They go, oh, okay, I feel so much better. But all you've done is given them clarity. You gave me the numbers, now here are the facts. Right? Life is just a search for clarity. Everything in life. Everything. Like even what you're doing later today. You kind of have an idea, but you don't have total clarity. We're always looking for more clarity, and we're always in a state of growth and expansion. Or we block that with fear. So, key points. Number 1, Never worry about how again.
Mm-hmm.
This is the number one word that stops all progress. How am I going to do it?
Mm-hmm. Instead,
hold that intention of what you want to create and just ask yourself what the next step is. Take one more step towards clarity. You don't have to worry about how, you only have to take the next. Does that make sense?
yeah, you got cut off there for just a moment. You don't have to worry. You just have to worry about the next step. You don't have to worry about the how.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many things going on in my life right now where I'm looking for clarity. Okay, one of them is I'm gonna get out and I want to speak to much larger crowds. I'm definitely going to do it. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at what's the next step? Who should I speak to then? Where should I go get more information about taking me to? Does it make sense?
Bill, you're getting cut off there. Your words are getting chopped off with the. I think the Wi-Fi is not the strongest. I cannot hear you. Bill, I cannot hear you. Bill, I cannot hear you. Bill, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I have a Skylink satellite and I've had no obstructions all week, so I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Let me, maybe we can continue where we left off, so I can ask you a question, and then my team is going to do what they need to do with editing and all that. So, good. Yeah, let's continue on.
Let's use what just happened as an example.
Okay.
We're in the middle of an interview. We're engaged. I had a technical issue, cut me off, went offline. No big deal. Things happen. I'm as calm and peaceful about it as can be. I'm not.
More so than I am, Bill.
Yeah, right. See, there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is the stories inside you cause you to bring energy to it that's not supportive.
So logically, we understand that. We understand that concept that nothing I can do and that. And yet I came, I had that energy of, oh man, we'll have to reschedule this. The internet's not working as good.
Oh, right,
here.
right. Everything's gone to hell in a handbasket. Right.
Right. And and I understand because I travel as well. So I've got empathy. I'm like, Bill, don't worry about it. We can, we can just reschedule this and do this again. So like that's the emotions, the thinking that's going on in my head.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you came from a place of being calm and so forth. So how does one, I mean, being in business, you've got stuff happening, this and that, and it's fires, trying to grow the business.
And this is what I do when I work with business owners and executives, is I teach them how to view the world energetically a number of different ways. I teach them exactly what their energies are. And once they learn those, they go, oh my God, because they can feel it. This it's not intellectual. And then we talk about life lessons. There's 38 different life lessons passed, 38 different ones with billions of combinations. Everybody has life lessons, and it means we have blind spots. And this is where all the interruptions and major disruptions come from. So the more you understand that, you're able to see where you're at. And now you can make a choice to a higher vibration. And I'll give you an example of that. The next time you're doing a show and the same thing happens, you're going to feel much more detached, because mistakes happen, things like that happen. We'll edit it, we'll do whatever needs to be done. Let's just move forward, get this complete, right? You won't have as much of a reaction. And one of the reasons you won't is because of the energy that I held. You were like, yeah, he's right. He just stayed calm and everything's cool.
So what was that internal process for you to do that? How did you do that?
Well, okay. It's non-judgmental. When you're judging, you're measuring. And when you're measuring, you're never equal. There's never equality in judgment. Something is less than or greater than. When in fact, everything is equal. You and I are equal. We are two energetically different human beings, completely equal. It has nothing to do with what you have materially. It just has to do who we are and how we show up. And we're equal. Now, if I'm sitting here going, oh God, look, this guy's wearing headphones and he doesn't even have earbuds, and it isn't up, and I'm just right. Like, this is what people do, because what they're trying to do is to find some salvation in their life, to see if they're doing okay. See if they're surviving. What level are they surviving at?
Right.
So it's a vicious cycle when you look at everybody as being equal. I'm just here to share this energy and to be of service to other people with what I do. And when you look at it that way, I use a term, it's called follow the energy. Your energy will always lead you right where you're supposed to be.
And so you stayed non-judgmental, just kind of keeping with that same example of the situation we went through with Wi-Fi cutting off and I couldn't hear you and all that. And we are in the middle of an interview, which makes this really very real. You stayed not only non-judgmental to me, but you probably, I don't know, I'm going to ask you, you stayed non-judgmental to the Skylink internet connection and the money you're paying for subscription to them, and you're like, man, these guys, they don't do their stuff, and why is this happening to me? Like, you stayed not judgmental across all those areas, didn't you?
Yeah,
and so
stuff happens.
Right.
Stuff
and
happens.
being in business, stuff definitely happens, and we're being judgmental. Now connect that to coming from a place of fear and love, right? The two emotions. How does that fit in?
What part of it? What part of it's fear? What part of it's love? If it's fear-based, three things are guaranteed if you're in fear. Guaranteed. Actually, 4. 1, you're in the physical. 2, you're attached to something, to an expectation that isn't going to get met. You're in fear that it isn't going to happen. in the way that you want it to, fear of loss, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What happens is where your attention goes, you go.
Mm.
Your energy goes there. And if your energy is going there, it can only create more of it.
Mm.
You're either feeding the fire or you're backing away from it.
Mm.
You're also projecting your past, some past experience. There's some story and energy inside of you, because the truth of the matter is, we don't know how anything's going to come out. We don't know. It comes out the way it comes out. And that's true of everything. So it's these stories and this fear of loss, rather than just going, oh, okay. Wow, that's weird. Everything's shut down. Let me see. Oh, okay. Let me hook back up, come back into the show. Here I am. Let's move on. In fact, it makes a great example. Not only do I not want to cover it up, I want to be fully transparent about it, because it's a perfect case study of, we're just talking about a little blip in a video. What happens when you make a mistake and you owe the IRS a lot of money? I mean, it's like, in the overall scheme of things, this is nothing, but there are a lot of emotions involved with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So perspective, right? Keeping perspective helps
Well,
in that moment.
I think the most important thing to understand is this. One, don't be defensive. Whatever is. There's nothing to protect unless you're in fear. Because with love, the more you give, the more you get.
Mm.
Fear is all about protection. So don't be defensive. Be open-minded and allow people to be who they are. You're perfect the way you are. You can have your opinion. You can be whoever you are. It's fine. But don't come and put it on me. Don't impose it on me. Don't give me an obligation. Just see me for who I am.
Mm. Mm. Bill, give us, this is interesting, what you're sharing. Talk to us, for the listener, the viewer, that's saying, Bill, give me some stuff I can use today. And you are,
Okay,
but they're not
great.
getting it, or, they're not really.
Okay, here's something right here. Okay. I want to talk about 2 words. Which of these is most important to you? Accountability or responsibility?
For me as a person,
Mm-hmm.
it's a responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you look at these 2 words energetically, what is the energy when you live behind that word? What's the energy that when you live responsibly? How would you describe that energy?
Mm. For me, responsibility means I'm serving others and I want to be responsible to them. I want to respond to them.
You're being fully responsible for what you're choosing to do.
Yeah, and it's external based. Accountability
Right.
is more, am I being accountable? It's my
What's
own.
the energy behind it?
I'm very self-driven, so I feel like I don't need accountability. It comes naturally to me. So I feel the greater power is in responsibility, is showing up in a
You're
responsible
100%.
way.
You're 100% correct. Energetically, I am responsible for everything in my life. Everything.
Mm.
Good, bad, indifferent. However you want to measure it and weigh it, it's all mine. And with that, I have the power to change.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in accountability, then I'm answering to someone else.
Mm.
And I'm becoming a victim.
Mm.
It's all victim energy. You have an obligation. You're going towards a moving target that gets changed all the time. You get it
Mm.
done. It's like, no, that's no good. Boom.
Mm.
Because you rather than being responsible and standing saying, then what is it that you want? Because this is how I understood it. So give me a clip, and being responsible rather than being pissed off and oh, this guy, he's rah, rah, rah,
Mm-hmm.
pointing the finger, right? See the difference in
Mm-hmm.
those energies?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot
Right.
of power and responsibility because it's all you.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you know you energetically,
Mm-hmm.
the more power you have in your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple of books. One, The 7 Levels of Truth. This is on Amazon. This is everything I do in my coaching business.
Mm.
The 7 Levels of Truth by Bill Heinrich. It's on Amazon. It explains everything I've been talking about. Uh, I have another book, a free book for anybody that's listening that wants it. It's called Clarity Has No Story.
Mm.
Clarity has no story. When you
Mm.
understand language and understand how to speak clearly
Hmm.
for who or what you are in that moment, makes life so much simpler. And to get that, download that book, you go to myfreebook.me, myfreebook.me, and you can get Clarity Has No Story as a download. Um,
Awesome.
you know, I'm a business coach, and I'm going to tell you something that's really funny. I a couple things. One, my clients have a tendency to stay with me a long time because we focus on expansion, right? And when I say that as a business coach, I just finished with one client, 8 years we worked together.
Mm.
And following this energy, he went from doing some regional social media to one of the international leaders in social media, with 2 best-selling books and on and on and on, because we just focused on what was blocking him and giving him more energy and power. And I've got other clients with me 5 years because the expansion is there for the taking. So
Mm.
it's really fascinating. But if anybody listening wants to speak to me, you can go to speaktobill.com, speaktobill.com, and do a quick 20-minute clarity call with me.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. We'll have the
Pretty
links that you just
fascinating, isn't
shared.
it?
It is fascinating. It is deep. It is, frankly, sometimes difficult to get our heads around it.
Yeah,
The
you've got to get
power.
your head out of the picture because,
There you go.
well,
There
you
you go. Look at the mistake I just made then, right? It's,
you have to get your head out of the picture.
right.
You want to know why? You want to know
Mm.
why? Because your head cannot come into the present moment.
Mm. Mm.
Only your heart can.
Mm. And so is there a
So,
place for both in making good
oh,
decisions,
absolutely.
in the right
But
decisions?
but you have to understand, when you learn about being in the present moment with your heart, coming from a place of love rather than fear, for the
Mm-hmm.
benefit of for
Mm.
everyone involved with whatever's going on. And when you start focusing, coming from that place
Mm.
to the other people, they're just, I mean,
Mm.
they just
Mm.
can't get enough of you because you're
Mm.
not there to talk.
Mm.
You're there to be a ball of energetic love and support,
Mm.
no matter what's happening.
Mm.
And no one, see, what you can say something and they start thinking, but they can't block feelings. They
Mm.
can't block that love. It's
Mm.
impossible.
Mm. Mm.
So people just are attracted to it.
Mm. Now, Bill, fear is a negative word, but there is, fear gets us to not do, to be cautious, to
Fear,
to
there's no such thing.
reevaluate things, to do our due diligence, so we don't get into something out of love and say, yeah,
No,
business is going to be
no,
great. We'll
no,
have
no,
more
no, no,
customers.
no, 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 no. I don't agree with you. Responsibility causes you to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I look at it. Do you see the energetic difference in that?
Correct. Yes.
It's massive.
Right. It is massive. So not coming from a place of fear, it comes from a place of being responsible that, yeah, I want to do my due diligence to
I
make
want more
sure this
clarity.
new venture, and I need more
I just
clarity.
want more clarity. That's
And
all.
that's what drives us there. So that energy drives us in the right way rather than the negative, debilitating
Yeah.
energy coming from fear. Oh,
Yeah.
what happens? I'm going to lose this, and then this can happen if
Hey,
I
you want to know something? You might lose it. But right now, you just want this information.
right.
Stay out of,
The one
you know,
step, the how
you know,
you mentioned.
it's
You don't have to
do
figure
you
it all
know
out.
that
It's the one step towards clarity.
you want to know something that's really weird? It's impossible to be in fear in the present moment.
Mm,
Right here,
mm,
right now. It's impossible. You must
mm,
go to the past or the future.
mm, hmm,
It's impossible.
mm,
You could be in a physical situation where something happens. That's a different type of fear. What we're talking about here is the inner game fear, the crap that we put up with all the time.
mm,
And when you're present right now, like we're connected right now,
mm,
we're energetically connected, you're really like getting the vibe of this conversation
mm,
and seeing how these vibes are affecting you.
mm,
You're here, we're present. You're not thinking about some client's big job or, oh, I've got this meeting next. Or in fact, your soul is screaming, tell me more, tell me more. Like
mm,
this is good. Tell me
mm,
more. That's
mm.
what's energetically, that's what's happening.
Right,
Would you agree
right.
with that?
100%. And and that's a practice that I am engaged in terms of, being being present. It's, it takes practice. It's meditation is one ritual that I do every morning, to be present,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and just, take everything else away and
It's
just be present and
it's
just breathe and
it's to
listen.
it's really to be compassionate and empathetic
Mm,
and really get the energy of what's going on, not so much the story. And you're
mm,
present with the energy.
mm,
And when you do that, your heart always tells you what to do. Like you've done things, you've had a feeling in your gut, and you've done them anyways, and it all went to hell in a handbasket, right? And
mm,
there's other times where you just had a knowing. You're like, I just know this is right. I know it,
mm,
right?
mhm, mhm,
You feel the knowing.
mhm,
You're thinking the failure.
mhm. Bill, this has been so good, man. We went over the time I had, but I was just
Well, I
so
knew we would when you said 20
mesmerized
minutes. I
with
said, yeah,
what you were.
we're going more than 20 minutes. Yeah.
I was mesmerized with what you were sharing. I really appreciated this. Was really good, and we may have to bring you back, man, to do
Let's do it again.
a part two of this. This is
Yeah.
not stuff that we typically think about on a day-to-day basis, and I think there's a lot of power to what you kind of,
And you
what
want
the
a
concepts
lot
you
of
shared.
power, but listen to what you just said. This isn't something we think about on a day-to-day basis, which is 100% correct. Stop thinking,
Feel it.
start feeling.
Feeling it. This is stuff we don't feel every, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Understand it. Understand. We are energetic beings.
Mm,
People will
mm,
never remember what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them.
feel. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Bill, we could go on for another 2 hours, and I think we
Oh,
still
I could
got
go for much longer than that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you
let's
so
do it
much.
again. Send me
Yeah,
another invite and we'll schedule. I'd love to.
we'll
Love
do.
your energy. I I love your awareness of the knowing, the pure knowing of truth that I share about energy. Because what I'm sharing isn't mine, it's ours. It's universal.
Mm.
And it's only a vibration. And
Love
when you
it.
come from that place of a vibration, then it's like, okay, how's my vibration? I don't need to be worry about what other people think of me. I don't feel good right now about this, or oh my vibration's good. I'm here, I'm present. It'll change your life. So it's miracles happen. It's crazy. It's so much fun because you can manifest anything.
Awesome. Bill, thank you so much,
Crazy.
man. This was
Okay, we'll
amazing.
stop. I'll get
Enjoyed
off.
it.
I'll get off.
All right.
We'll be
Take
in
care.
touch. Would love to do it again. All right.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.